What's up? We're live. Look at that.
Hey, Internet.
Hello, Internet. It's Graham Owen and Ron Placone here in beautiful New Haven, Connecticut.
Nice day. It's kind of sunny, a little cloudy, nice but manageable.
Manageable. We took a train ride. Hey, hello, Jesus. We took a train ride in this morning from Philly, which was great. Philly, 2 sold-out shows.
Yes, a lot of fun. Yeah. Thank you so much, Philly. We had a blast.
Oh, so great. We sold out. Yeah, it was 2 shows. It was 2 sold, standing room only both nights. The crowds were great. It was so much fun. So thank you to everybody that came out in Philly. Baltimore was good. DC was great. I mean, Lee was there. You know, it was great hanging out with Lee Camp. Shannon Sun Moon Virgo is Ron Mormon.
No, I don't understand the insult if that's how you intended it, but I'm not Mormon. I'm an atheist.
I think that's because I did a video talking to Lee after the show in DC.
Oh, that's a callback.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. That was funny. I go door to door. That's right. Good callback, Shannon. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah. So I say Ron typically travels with his bicycle.
That's right.
And your books.
I forgot about that. I was just like, why? Okay. Good callback. Well done.
Just a random insult about you looking more.
Yeah, I was just like, why? Do I look it? Like,
who's this Mormon asshole? Well, thank you, Shannon, for acknowledging that you saw that video. Kennedy, see you in New York City. Right on.
Nice. Tomorrow.
Yes, right on. So just so you know, we're doing, if you're in the New Haven area, our show's at 8:00. It's in 2 hours. There's still tickets available for that. New York City's almost sold out.
Don't wait.
Don't wait. If you just think you're going to walk up and get a ticket, that's probably not going to happen. So, and Boston, the tickets are moving quickly.
They're moving quick. Don't wait.
So
don't wait.
Don't wait.
And Vegas, we're coming to you in July.
July 27th,
yep.
Vegas. Now, I've been meaning to ask you this. We have Madison and Minneapolis booked. Are there ticket links for that?
Ticket links are available now. You can find it, and then we both got to post it on our websites. But the ticket links are available.
There are ticket links.
Yeah, they're out there.
They're in brown paper tickets.
Yeah.
So Progressive Comedy Tour in September
6th for Madison, September 7th for Minneapolis.
Yes, we've just been busy with this tour. We haven't put the respective ticket links on our websites.
But they will be up soon.
They will be up soon. But if you want to get them now, if you're in Madison or Minneapolis, just go to Brown Paper Tickets and search Progressive Comedy Tour Madison, Progressive Comedy Tour Minneapolis, and you'll see it and you can buy it there. So,
and if you live in that area, where else do you want to see us?
Yeah.
Because we're thinking about where else should we go? Should we go to Kansas City? Should we go to Omaha, Nebraska? Should we go to Sioux Falls?
Sioux Falls.
Should we go to Iowa? Should we go to... now we're saving Milwaukee, so don't say Milwaukee because we're going to hit Milwaukee in July
of next
year
for the Democratic Convention.
Yes.
So that's our goal, is to do shows in around either like the day before the convention starts in Milwaukee, and then maybe the day after do like Chicago or something. So we'll start putting that together, but look for that because we want to be at the convention the whole week. Dr. Scott, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Thank you for supporting the show, you guys. Somebody asked earlier what venue we're playing in New York. It's the Broadway Comedy Club.
Broadway Comedy Club.
Yeah. So check that out. Moose Gal got, hey guys, great interview in Redacted tonight. What was it like being on the set? What's Lee Camp like in real life? I mean, it was really cool. It was so like we both met Lee before. I met him. I did a Skype interview with him last year. So I met him digitally, and then he and I were on a Jimmy Dore show live in LA maybe 6 months ago or something like that, December maybe. And that's when I met him, and you know, he's really hilarious, and he was great. I mean, it was just really great.
Yeah, I've known Lee for almost a decade now. Lee's actually the reason I know everybody else. So yeah, so I've known Lee a long time. He's a good dude and a fellow whiskey drinker. So I always like hanging out with him.
Let's just say there was some whiskey after the taping.
Yes, it was after. Yeah, of course. Yes, professionals.
But yeah, it was so. First of all,
it's a very nice studio. It's a fantastic studio.
It was great. I mean, it was really cool to see the RT studio. There's like there's the one studio where Lee does his show, which is very cool. And then he showed us this really like the bigger where they do like the live stuff. And there was actually one of their live broadcasts was happening when we were there. So it was a really cool interview, and I know it dropped like Thursday. So I don't have RT on my cable, so I watch it on YouTube. So if you haven't checked it out, check out. It's part of like a 30-minute segment that Lee does. And our interview is like maybe 10 minutes within that. So it was really awesome. And then Lee did our show Wednesday, which was so fun.
We had a really fun time.
Yeah. And
shout out to everyone in DC.
Yeah,
thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
See you next year.
For sure. We'll be back in DC. And then if you go watch, and then I just did this fun interview with Lee after the show. That's where we make jokes about the Mormon and all that other stuff. So
can I answer Herman's question?
Sure.
So Herman and also Muscal is asking about it too. The day before our show in Washington D.C., I went to I went to Mitch McConnell's office with a couple of activist groups, among them Demand Progress, Free Press, a Hispanic Media Coalition, Fight for the Future, and we delivered 3.5 million petitions for net neutrality to Mitch McConnell's office. He was not there, but we presented them to his office. They were cordial, you know, they gotta be, and we live streamed the whole thing on epiclivestream.com. So still waiting to hear kind of the results of that entire event, but yes, we did go do that. So I wasn't at the FCC, I was in the Senate building.
Ron, I gotta go to the Senate building, and you know, hats off to any of you that gave your signatures to that 3.5 million signatures. That's a pretty powerful movement and a pretty powerful statement. So that was really and then doing the online thing that Tuesday was cool to be a part of.
That was a fun time, yeah.
Shannon, Sun, Moon, Virgo, shave your knuckles for justice, Shannon. Free Assange. Love and justice, absolutely. Another thing, so Friday, I was on, I think you were on too, the Unity for Jay, the final Unity for Jay live stream. I put just my conversation on it, is on the Political Vigilante channel. I was talking to Susie Dawson about it. So what the reasoning behind that, it's not like Unity for Jail has failed or it's collapsed. They're actually making some headway with the Justice for Julian movement, which is the like boots on the ground in London. They have a lawyer that are legally trying to fight this. There's a lot of people showing up. There's a lot of like people are getting arrested. I mean, there's a lot of like nonviolent resistance happening. And so what Susie and the Unity for J people decided was it would be better to focus all the efforts on that movement because that's like a really concrete action being taken. So if you want to donate to that, you're helping pay for Julian's legal team.
Yeah.
So
it's sort of like one of those things where throw your weight over there and kind of let them lead.
Yes.
Which just makes sense from a strategic point of we want to get this man his freedom.
Yeah. And it's not
so
about
that makes complete sense.
It's great. And I'm glad they did it. And so if you didn't get a chance to watch it, I'm sure they put the whole thing up, but my like 20-some minute interview talking to Susie, we just sort of recap because that, you know, I got involved. They invited me about a little over a year. So how powerful that movement has been for me. I mean, I met Elizabeth Lee Voss because I just saw one of her articles on Disobedient Media and I did a video about it. And then I interviewed her and then she turned me on to Susie Dawson. And through Susie Dawson, I mean, I met Ray McGovern, Ann Garrison, who's did an article in Black Agenda Report that I did an article on or a video on. And then I went up to San Francisco and, you know, met like all these amazing people, not to least of it Nozomi and people that are really strong within this movement and really amazing people. And so I've just been honored to be a part of it. So if you want to, the best way to keep supporting Julian and Chelsea Manning has her own, I believe her own legal defense fund as well. So those are places to throw some money. And I want to thank Balthazar228 supporting this show, guys. Great way to do it is to hit the $ icon. That's the super chat button. And then you'll see like Balthazar's question. I will answer whatever question you're saying. It's a great way to support the show because I keep 100% of the revenue from these super chats. So this is a great way to directly support the show. Balthazar228. Of course, Mitch wasn't there. He was visiting his family in the Galapagos. He'll hide in his shell if he's scared enough by his donors. Mm. Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, that's a great joke, but also a great point you're making, Balthazar, which is the politicians are now for the first time in a long while actually starting to get scared because people are showing up. They thought net neutrality oh, just some hippies will get mad. No. If you're a Trump supporter that watches NASCAR or whatever, you're going to be, if you use the internet for anything, for entertainment, for work, it doesn't matter your political or socioeconomic background. You're mad.
Yeah, and that's why we did the whole thing. Like, we knew that the Senate's going to try to sit on the Save the Internet Act. We knew that. And we knew that they weren't going to be able to force the vote. They just didn't have the numbers because there's some Democrats that aren't in favor of net neutrality, too, that are, bought out. So we knew we didn't have the numbers, but we knew we need to let them know that we're still watching and there's going to be consequences at the ballot box if you go against this and people are paying attention. So that was the point of the action, and hopefully it's going to lead to some good things and us getting net neutrality back.
Yeah, we talk a lot about it on the show and on Ron's show and on Jimmy's show and everywhere else about, like, when I say vote with your dollars and get involved, it's not one little thing. It's showing them at every turn they're going to meet legitimate resistance. It's going to hurt their pocketbook. They're going to get voted out of office, and they need to be running. We need to make them scared of us, like that we're gonna get them out of power. And when they try to screw around like they're doing with net neutrality, it's going to cost them. And we need bold voices. We don't need incremental goddamn centrism, which is the disease of everything. So thank you, Balthazar228. Ruth Benedict.
What's up, Ruth? It was so wonderful to meet you. Thank you so much for the lovely rock.
Oh, that's a beautiful gift.
I have mine in my bag.
Mine's in my bag too. Ruth made these amazing gifts. So she was at the show last night. It was so great. So many of you that are on the chat on a consistent basis have come up after shows and said, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm this person, I'm that person. So Ruth Benedict, got to keep brief. The Philly show was amazing. I feel renewed getting back into the social scene again since being sick. By all means, see these guys if they are near you. Love the community and love Graham Round. Yeah, it was really, and that's the thing again. We talk about this a lot is the progressive shows, and we want to really make this point, is it's more than just a stand-up comedy show. So for instance, last night, Jeff Epstein from Citizens Media TV was there. He was there both nights, and he was handing out information about MMT. Now, I've interviewed him probably 4 or 5 times on this show. So he was giving out information on MMT. The Green Party was there. The Green Party of Philly.
Green Party was there, and then a candidate, representative for a candidate was there as well.
So it's like that. It's a great way to get involved. So every show has stuff like that, has people at it. We had a movement for a People's Party in DC. And so we say it's more than just a comedy show. And then also the community.
Our Revolution Maryland.
Our Revolution Maryland was there. We've had, and you get to meet the community of people. And it was great for us to meet, like Ruth, to meet you, and for you to meet other progressives. I always say, if you come alone, you will not leave alone. You will come alone, but you will leave a part of the progressive community in whatever town we're performing in. So highly recommend.
We get tweets of people who met at the shows that are hanging out. Like, they'll be like, hey, it's Friday night and we're all going bowling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, too bad I don't live in your town because I'm just hanging out alone tonight.
Well, after the show, like,
I'm just reading a book. I don't have a set tonight.
I'm watching Netflix. But like Savage Joy did her live show afterwards, and we just went in this little room upstairs at the bar, and there was like a half a dozen progressives who were at the show.
Yeah, they all hung out. It was really cool. And Savage Joy really did a solid for us because our door person quit at the last minute for both nights. Didn't even tell us it was for both nights, and it was for one. But we had to scramble to find a door person for both nights, and Savage Joy was willing to be our door person on a Saturday.
Yeah,
when she got into town, so she really did us a solid, and then she introduced the show too. So,
which was great, and she even, fell, but she's okay.
She did,
she's all right. She's all right. She's okay. She really took one
slipped,
for the team. So it's amazing. Independent outsider, shave the knuckles for justice. Thank you, Graham, for support for Julian. #free Julian. Yeah. This is, it's important. It affects all of us. And we just need to show the ruling class that we're going to fight them, be it Julian Assange, Chelsea Manning, net neutrality, contaminated water, Medicare for all. We're going to be there at every turn. We're going to resist you and fight you for real, not fake resistance, but like real resistance at every turn. So Balthazar228, shave your knuckles for justice, my friend. I spent 9 days in Seoul. They have municipal fiber optic nested 1 gigabyte per second and up and down at every internet cafe as a state right. They also have single payer amazing health outcomes. That's such a great point, and I'm so glad you bring that up because that's one of the things that can help battle the narrative of how we're going to pay for it and this, that, and the other
Well,
thing.
in short, too, I'm not a tech expert, but I can kind of, I can translate that if anyone's not. That means their internet's really, really fucking good and fast, and they have healthcare.
Yeah,
that's basically what Balthazar told us.
Yeah, it kicks
really
ass.
Fucking good internet, healthcare. They got it.
Faster than anything you can get in the United States, and you get free healthcare. So the richest country in the history of the world should have this. It should have Ron, fights pretty actively for municipal broadband, which I think is a great way.
It's what we should have done in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
This is like basically it's like when you fight for municipal broadband, you're trying to fix a mistake that it wasn't a mistake, or the powers that be made it that way. Yeah. But we should have never let it happen. I mean, I guess we didn't. Who would have had the foresight to predict the internet was going to become what it was? But we gotta set it right.
I hear this all the time from friends of mine that travel more internationally than I do. They're like, Graham, there's all these parts of the world there's hot spots where the internet is faster than anything you've ever seen. Malaysia, Seoul. I mean, just like, so if they can have it there, we can have it here.
Oh, and in some places we do have it here. I mean, we have it in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We have a couple places that got it right. And, hopefully we just got to make that everywhere. And Bernie recently did mention universal broadband. To my knowledge, he's the first presidential candidate that said that. So that's cool. And hopefully more do as well.
Excellent. So thank you, Balthazar, for bringing that up. And
maybe Pete Buttigieg.
Oh,
maybe he'll be like, I want everybody to get language courses available online so they can learn 7 like me.
So and work for the intelligence
universal
community?
Broadband. That's putting it to good use.
Oh,
I mean, that's
okay. But that also kind of sounds like too firm of a policy for no policy Pete.
That's actually standing for something. He might upset some people.
Yeah. He might just say, we need a healthy internet.
Or just we need a healthy internet, and we need an internet where people are nice, and Trump's not nice. End of speech.
Okay, but what did that mean, Pete? What were you saying when you said that?
Exactly. The interviewer won't ask them that. The interviewer will just be like, he's so nice. He's nice.
Isn't he nice? He's really, really nice. Sam Dean, shave the knuckles for justice. So real quick, Sam is in Australia. I have started the process of booking dates, and we're looking for November. We're hopefully going to get some, I know the guy that books the Rhino Room in Adelaide. And if we can get some dates around that, then we can start finding some venues in maybe Melbourne and Sydney, and even try to go to Brisbane and go do some other places. So I was just talking to Australian comic Alice Fraser, who's on the Bugle podcast, and she was helping with that. So I've been there before, and I know Will Anderson and other comics down there, and I know American comics like Dave Anthony and Gareth from the Dollop who have performed on there. So we're going to hopefully put that together. So hopefully we'll see you down there, Sam.
I've never been to Australia, but I know Graham Elwood, who has performed in Australia.
Okay. I hope it works out with that guy.
Me too.
What if T-Rump helps raise awareness about functional autism? This could actually be used as an example of rapid mental deterioration, panoramic fantasy, pathological reasoning, and obsessiveness. I mean, if you're saying those are all the things that Trump has, and we get to watch it in real time, and then it does raise awareness for mental illness, and wow, that's it sounds, I mean, that would be a crazy twist of fate, which if it raised awareness, he would be deemed not fit to be president, and Mike Pence would immediately be president. And then there would be a search for the vice president, which is how that process would go. So I don't know. That would be really intriguing. That would be a really intriguing process, Sam. So
that'd be something.
That would be crazy, but anything is possible in this day and age. Let's make sure we got all of them here. All right, we got OTR Trucker. Shave your knuckles for justice, OTR. Thank you. I know you don't drink, don't smoke, Adamant, what do you do? But surely that doesn't go for hookers and cocaine, right? Is that why you didn't get my long lines joke?
What was the long lines joke?
I missed the long lines joke.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, OTR Trucker. I didn't get the long lines joke, and
I didn't get either. I didn't get it either. I do smoke and drink, but I missed it too.
Yeah, I do not do cocaine or hookers either.
I don't do that.
No, so I will in the future try to remedy that situation. But thank you so much, OTR Trucker, for supporting the show. So if you guys, some of you are like, I want to make you a gift. That's cool. I like a vegan, gluten-free wrapped food item. You know, those are good. I eat a lot of energy bars on the road when I travel. So little portable vegan, gluten-free snacks are always wonderful, and I appreciate that. So that's something.
We got a very nice care package from Emily, by the way, with right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
With snacks.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you for that. Cut a Phil, shave the knuckles for justice. I'm sorry I can't make it to any of your East Coast shows, but hopefully I can do it next time around. I work 2 jobs. It's hard to find the time off. FYI, my name is pronounced Q to Phil.
Q to Phil.
Q to Phil. Q to Phil. Thanks. Yeah, we appreciate. Thank you for supporting the show. $27. That's a Bernie amount. That's really cool. And you know, there's so many ways to support what we're doing, and I totally understand. Ron and I get it. Some of you are like, I work 2 jobs, I got kids or whatever. I can't make it to your shows, even if you're in my area. And so supporting us here is a great way to do that. And everything, you know, everything helps. And you know, we're gonna we want to get the tour. We want to get more tour merchandise and put it for sale online, because that's a way you could support the tour, even if you're not. We have the stickers right now that we sell after shows. So, and I'll make the stickers one of the levels when I do the. Maybe I'll do that for the Indiegogo when I go to Russia. That's the other thing too. I'm gonna try to go to Russia. Ron can't make it, but I've talked about this before. But I have already started creating the Indiegogo page. I'll get that finished when I get home on Thursday this week, and I'll put it up there. And I told Susie Dawson I'm doing it. So my plan is to go to Moscow for like a week, the end of September, and interview people and put like a little mini documentary up on YouTube, you know, just showing people what it's like. And yeah, that's my goal. And put little bonus clips up on Patreon and all that other stuff. So thank you, Q to Phil. We really appreciate it.
Is that a new one?
Cyber Clue.
Oh, that's a fun question. So what do you and Ron think of the debate lineup schedule for the 26th and the 27th? I think it's intentional that they separated Bernie and Elizabeth Warren.
And Tulsi.
Yeah, well, but I kind of like the fact that Tulsi is with Elizabeth Warren.
Right.
I mean, I know it's intentional that they did it that way. They really want to separate Bernie from Elizabeth Warren because they want Elizabeth Warren to look like a progressive.
Right.
But the fact that Tulsi's there, she ain't gonna look like a progressive, I don't think.
Yeah, though that is a good point.
I do. I mean, I know they didn't do that on purpose. They certainly didn't do that to help Tulsi out, but might end up helping Tulsi out.
I think Tulsi's going to do great on the debate stage, and I think you bring up a great point. What it's going to do, all of those sort of neoliberals that are kind of tangled up in identity politics, most of them don't know who Tulsi Gabbard is.
Yeah,
and they're just like, we need a woman in there, Elizabeth Warren. You know, and so, or Kamala, and Tulsi's going to step up and go, actually, here's what a progressive looks like.
Yeah.
So if you're really tied into the identity politics, I'm the one you should go with.
Let me add something to this though, because I think this is also, you know, while this is some reason for optimism, another thing that I'm, you know, a little weary about, I have a feeling most of Tulsi's questions are going to be gotcha questions.
Oh yeah. About Assad apologies and all that crap.
So, you know, we'll see what happens, but I do see an opportunity there.
But the thing, here's what I think the opportunity is she knows she's going to get. She's been getting these smears and gotcha questions since she announced, and even before then, when she first said, "Why are we a year ago or so? Why are we going into Syria?" So I think she's really skilled debater.
She is, and if she deflects them well, and if she really, you know, kind of exposes the fact that she's the progressive, not Liz Warren, then, you know, could be a good.
I think my hope is that what this does is elevate Tulsi to where everybody knows who she is. Because right now, a lot of people, they don't know who she is.
It's true.
So it'll get her on the main short list of top 3-4 candidates. And what that does is maybe she can start to run away with it, that'd be great if they really decide, okay, we're going to make her the nomination. But short of that, it does what I think the initial strategy is between her and Bernie, is that when Bernie is getting the nomination or close to getting the nomination, he'll name his VP candidate. You know, I know in the past people don't name their VP until the convention, but,
but we're in an unconventional time.
We're totally
no pun intended. I mean, we're totally in an unconventional time. Joe Biden was thinking about doing something with Stacey Abrams immediately. So
and I think that's their plan.
The rule book has been thrown out. I mean, you know, and when you go back to, well, this is the way it's done. You know who was saying this is the way it's done? The Clinton campaign, when they said, well, we're not going to pick Bernie because we can't have 2 older people on a ticket together. Right. That's not the way it's done. Well, guess what? If they would have done it that way and there was no reason why they couldn't have, Bernie would be VP right now. So
yeah. And I think, but that's my point, is the rules are thrown out the window. Yeah. So I think he's going to announce Tulsi early, like way earlier, just to say, here, young woman of color, let's do this. So
I'm sure somewhere in the rule book, someone said, you're not supposed to talk about your dick size during a debate. Well, guess what? Trump did. He's president.
And he won.
So there you go. Talk about your rules.
Yeah, the rules are gone. A president could never say that. That was Trump. Trump did 48 things that would have crushed any other candidate in elections past, and they actually helped him win. Annabelle, Corley, shave your knuckles for justice.
This is a funny comment.
Here, you read it.
You want me to read it? Okay. Loved your Philly train station video. 2 sleepy progressives. Sometimes I'm actually asleep, by the way, in some of this content. 2 sleepy progressives have the best reaction to an Amish man walking into the frame. That was great.
So great.
For anyone that didn't see that video, we made a video on the Philly train station because we got in very early. And this Amish dude just walked up and he was just chilling. I don't know if
it's like if an Amish guy just walked in right like back here.
Yeah.
And so Ron and I are talking. There's just this Amish dude, and he's just staring,
and he's like looking all around, like just right there. And it's like, all right,
it's beautiful. It is beautiful.
And Amish Photobomb is the name of the next United Stank album. We're pretty sure.
Amish Photobomb.
Amish Photobomb.
Oh shit. Yeah, a lot of the United Stank. We're going back in the studio to cut another album, so be ready for the United Stank album.
Thank you, Annabelle.
And yes, Annabelle, we will see you down under in November. Let's do this one. Greg Shepard, shave your knuckles for justice. Do you think that so many candidates is simply to make sure that if Bernie is in the running, the second vote will just kill his chance? Yeah, I think that's the plan.
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
I mean,
yeah.
Yes.
It's every state where the big states where he could win. Kamala's California, Robert Francis O'Rourke in Texas,
yep.
Massachusetts is Liz Warren. You know, it's like anywhere there's a state that Bernie could win, they're putting somebody in there. So that yes. Thanks, Greg. Balthazar 228, shave your knuckles for justice. Doesn't part of each of you want to see the clusterfuck that would be 23 candidates on one stage for 4 hours or so? I'd love to see Ron and Gam riff it.
It would be kind of fun.
Yeah, pending my schedule, I'm going to try to, I don't know if I'll live stream during it, but I will absolutely probably live stream after the debate so we can kind of break down how it went. So be ready for that. Maybe I'll live stream during it if I can, just to watch the train wreck unfold and watch wins, watch people kick ass.
I'll probably live stream it.
Yeah,
because they do all those like strikes now, so they make it hard, copyright strikes, so they make it harder for people to do stuff like that.
What do you mean?
Well, they're like giving you strikes, like the cable companies and stuff. Like if you stream it live, they're giving you copyright strikes.
I mean, I would do this live stream while watching it. I would just do live commentary.
Oh, okay. So you wouldn't actually have it on.
No.
Yeah.
No. Huh. I wouldn't do that. Because I don't want to put their content online anyway. Jedi Mullet 77, shave the knuckles for justice. Since the Japanese tanker was attacked by Iran, Shouldn't we just let Japan handle it and we can stay out of it? Yeah, that would be great. That's a great argument to say, well, then it's Japan's problem. Why are we getting involved with Japan? You know, when we were attacked by Japan on December 7th of 1941, did another country join in on our behalf? Nope.
I'm trying to remember.
I don't think
so.
I don't think we did. It's a great question, Jedi Mullet 77. So yeah, that false flag thing is just preposterous. And everyone's been, and I put it on my Twitter feed too, that clip of that guy from that think tank saying, oh, we need to create a false flag to start a war with Iran. He literally said it like 6 months ago or something like that. So it's so obvious this is a false flag to get us into war with Iran. It's just unquestionable. It's crazy.
But it's par for the course.
Par for the course.
I mean, it's like it's part of. I mean, who was it? It was Wesley Clark Sr. that just laid out that piece of paper with all these Middle East countries, and they're going to go. And Iran is, I believe,
it's been on it for years. List. It's been on it. We've been wanting to get to Iran for years, man. So they got a lot of oil. They don't want to. Since the Shah got put out of power, we've been wanting to get back in there and get it. That's the story on that. 152 people watching, 52 likes. Smash the like button. That would be helpful. Sam Dean, shave the knuckles for justice, Sam. You guys travel together and have slept in the same room. Seriously, who snores? Everyone annoys anyone a little bit. Let's hear it, guys. And go.
I might. I mean, I don't know. I sleep on trains and planes way easier than Graham does. So Graham's probably seen me sleep more than I've seen him. That's a weird way to put it. But
I watch Ron sleep.
Well, I mean, what else can you do, really? I mean, you're just beside me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I snore. I don't know.
I don't know.
You never know.
I don't know. Yeah.
When I have a cold, I do, but
usually we don't. Usually there's like one night where we have to share a room or something. Most of the time, like we're in our own rooms.
Yeah.
So, but Ron can sleep anywhere.
Yeah, I can.
He slept today. We were in the dining car and there's just like a table and he just like leaned over and fell asleep.
Yeah, I just hunched over the table on my backpack and fell asleep.
It was amazing.
For most of the train ride.
Yeah, 3 hours. I'm like,
and then I woke up and I was like, how's the Wi-Fi? And it was shitty. So I was like, all right, peace. And went back to sleep.
And he's like, have we hit New York City yet? I'm like, we just went through it. We're past it. We're past New York City. We're into Connecticut.
Is it still, how's it going? Do they look the same? A lot of buildings?
So
we'll be there tomorrow.
Is it still a crowded island? Is it still a big crowded island? Yes, Ron, it is. So that's so yeah, I hope that answers your question, Sam. Cat B, cue the Amish guy every day. You got that right. Amish photo bomb. Hashtag Amish photo bomb.
Krillin, are there tickets left for New York City? Yes, grab them now. Don't wait, grab them now.
That venue is almost sold out, which is pretty awesome. So it is, the venue is almost sold out. So it's for a Monday night in New York City. It's fantastic. So I wouldn't wait. I wouldn't buy them at the door.
Get them now.
They cost more at the door anyway, but it's probably going to be sold out by tomorrow afternoon, is my guess.
Yeah.
The way ticket sales will go.
Don't wait. Get them now. RonPlacone.com or GrahamElwood.com.
Krillin 876. Pat the Batman fan, shave the knuckles for justice, tells he has a way bigger dong than Trump. I hope she just talks about it. That was one of the most surreal moments of 2016 when he was talking about the size, when he was showing his hand, talking about the size of his dick in one of the Republican debates. It was unbelievable. And that guy became president.
Yeah, it was remarkable. Well, later in the debates, like he knew he had it in the bag. So he was trying to seem more moderate. Like you could tell he was just debating the Democrat at that point. Mm-hmm. Like he was just like, he wasn't even debating his opponents. He was just saying his thing and trying to appeal to more people because he knew he was the guy. He even had a blue tie on, if you notice. So he was trying to, because it was just, he just wiped out that clown car.
Yeah, he did. He blew up.
He was part of the clown car too, don't get me wrong, but
that's the thing people forget. He blew up the Republican Party.
Yeah.
He went in there and blew it up. Like Jeb Bush, it was supposed to be Bush Clinton 2.0.
Yeah.
And he went, nope.
Jeb got humiliated. Not even just by Trump, but like just by, I mean, he almost started crying. Yeah. Like, you remember, like he almost, like he was like, you shouldn't be acting like that. And he started like his face, like his eyes, I think there were like tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
So you remember what debate I'm talking about? It was sad.
Yeah.
Like I almost felt bad for him. Then I was like, wait, his last name's Bush, right? Don't feel bad. Never mind. Just kidding.
Don't feel bad.
But yeah, I was like,
never feel bad for a Bush.
Not at all. But yeah, it was. It just shows how small he is, and all of them. I mean, Chris Christie, Marco Rubio. It was light years beyond pathetic.
Yeah. Ted Cruz, that whole gang. He just fucking.
And these are the people the Democrats can't beat.
The Democrats can't beat these people. They can't beat Ted Cruz. Beto O'Rourke can't beat Ted Cruz because Beto O'Rourke took just a little bit less money from the oil lobby than Ted Cruz. Unbelievable. Cyber Clue, shave the knuckles for justice. You're making Gotham great again, Cyber. If they don't cheat Bernie at the convention, I think their next plan would be to start impeachment of Trump over obstruction to energize the Republican base. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to help Trump win just because it helps their fundraising. If Bernie is going to get the nomination, I could see people within the Democratic Party, if Bernie gets the nomination, still trying to
piss off Trump's base at that point.
Yeah.
So really,
and try to fuck Bernie over that hard because it's better to have Trump in office because we can raise money against.
Yeah. The gravy train keeps rolling if Donald Trump's in office. If a progressive's in office like Bernie Sanders or Tulsi Gabbard, then
the corporate money goes away.
Status quo might be moving.
Yeah, because if Bernie or Tulsi is in the White House, you lose your corporate money. You lose all that. All that money goes away, and then so the Democratic Party starts to get gutted. And progressives take it over. So you're done. You're out of a job if you're a corporate Democrat. You're done. So you're going to want Trump because then you can just say Trump, 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 and you can blame Trump's second term on Bernie bros or whatever bullshit. But if Bernie gets a nomination, he'll win. He'll win. Jedi Mullet 77.
Ron, have you watched Pump? Graham did. No, I haven't.
So it's a documentary that Jedi Mullet recommended to me. It's free. It's on YouTube. It's about the kind of the history of the oil lobby and why and all this stuff and how they bought up public transportation in like the 30s and 40s and got rid of it. And it's
I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Well, yes. I mean, they gutted so much just in our own country, like just the way they used to have like even like the hills of California, the way they used to utilize those hills and they could like deliver groceries and stuff like that. And people used to actually utilize that as a means of transportation. We weren't so dependent on the vehicle, so to speak. And then they gutted all that because they wanted people to buy cars.
Yeah, it was the oil lobby and the tire company and the Rockefeller, people like that. They deliberately, the fact that we are so dependent on our cars and it's cheap oil.
Yeah. And it still happens today. I mean, you know, I used to live in Nashville, Tennessee. They had an amazing transportation plan, and they knew they needed it because of how fast the city was growing. A bunch of propaganda Coke money killed it.
Yep.
Because they didn't want to lose any of their, oil money in Tennessee. So
crush the oil.
And now traffic in Nashville is a lot more brutal than it was, years ago because the people still came and they didn't have that system that they could have had.
They didn't do anything to fix it.
Yeah.
Balthazar 228. At one point, the U.S. was run by a Bush, a Dick, and a Colin.
That's true.
I'm ready for the Speaker of the House to be Atlantis Nancy Pelosi pushing the border net. I don't quite get that.
I get the first part. I don't get the second part.
I'm ready.
First part I get.
Speaker of Atlantis, Nancy Pelosi pushing the border net. Oh, you mean when we're underwater because of climate change? Is that what you mean? We're going to need a border net because we'll be underwater because of the coastline?
Oh, yeah. That might be what it means.
That's what it'll mean.
Yeah, I'll take it.
We'll be living in Atlantis.
Absolutely. It's a climate change joke. I like it.
I like it. I like a good climate change joke, cloak.
Climate change cloaks are pretty cool.
They are pretty sweet. Where else are we? Boycott fake progressives. You got that right. Fuck the Democrats. Yep. Ron, click on
check out
Scorsese's new documentary on Dylan's Rolling Thunder. Amazing performance.
Oh, cool. Okay. Thanks, Adam. I will. Right on. I saw what's the one famous Dylan documentary I've seen a couple times, like No Way Home or whatever it's called. Anyway, it's not important, but yeah,
Nice.
that's a really fun doc.
Okay, so clarification, it was an Aquaman joke. All right. I watched part of Aquaman on a plane, but I didn't finish it. The Dylan doc was amazing. Right on. Happy Father's Day. All right, happy Father's Day to everybody.
Yeah, if there's any dads out there, happy Father's Day.
Shout out to the dads. Yeah, I'm pumped for Abby's new documentary on Gaza. Actually, I'm going to go see a screening of it Thursday in LA. I fly back Thursday morning from Boston. I'm going to go to that. So I'm really pumped to see it. That'll be cool.
No Direction Home is what it was called. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you, Philip.
Boycott Graham. He is a fake progressive. All right. You got it. I'm a fake. You got me. I'm a fake progressive.
I'm boycotting you right now. You can't even tell, but this is a me boycott.
Tulsi is a Harry Truman Democrat. Read HI Public Papers. Thanks. I'm not quite sure the reference to that, but thanks for bringing that up. Okay. Kate Slattery. Boom. Shave your knuckles for justice, Kate. Would you consider live streaming your reaction to the debates, maybe at a bar comedy club? Misery Loves Company could raise some money for your trips. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. I could maybe, if I could set that up, that's a little
That would be fun to like kind of live stream at a club and have an audience there. Like a reaction to... Yes. I mean, that'd be a fun job.
I'm going to look into that. It takes some logistics and there's like some tech stuff, which means spending money, but you could sell tickets to that and probably pay for it and make it worthwhile. So that's a great idea, Kate. I'll look into that. I don't know if I can get it done for these quick debates, but as we move forward, I'm going to talk to a couple clubs in LA about doing that.
That would be really fun. Kate, you got to make the trip to Los Angeles if we do.
Boom, Kate. Come on out, Kate. Do it. Okay, I get it. So this guy's just being a wingbird. There you go. Got the big B. Every once in a while, we got to block a troll. Not every Sunday, but every once in a while we get a troll block. B to the T. Annabelle, Corley, shave your knuckles for justice, but down under, you'd rotate it differently. Julian's father spoke outside the prison again. He asked Australia to intervene. Our silence is unbelievable to me. What will it take? Yeah, the fact that Australia is letting one of its citizens get snatched up by America on English soil is unbelievable to me.
This whole thing is unbelievable to me. Like we're watching Orwell become a documentary. And, you know, I mean, we're watching it happen in real time and you're just...
So it's like a live Orwellian news feed.
Big time. I mean, yeah. And it's barely a news feed because we have to seek it out ourselves because they're not telling us about it, which also adds to the Orwellianness of it. Mm-hmm. And it's really trippy to watch it unfold in real time. The generations that come after us will ask us, did you say anything? Did you try to do anything? Well, this was happening.
If everything hasn't been silenced and they're just like, or the generation after is going to ask, why didn't you do anything? Or they're just going to go, who was Julian Assange?
Well, they're going to ask, where were you when? Oh no, I mean, I got to have hope that they're not going to ask who was Julian Assange. I got to have hope that that's not going to be how it unfolds. I got to have hope that we're going to progress further than that.
Yeah, I believe that too. And that's the thing when
you could be right. I mean, like maybe it will unfold. I sincerely hope not. And I'm going to, try to do what little I can to make sure that's not the case. We all are, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm totally happy going down in history as somebody who spoke up. That's why one of the reasons I'm doing this. So if somebody asked me, what did you do? I can say, I tried. I did this and this. I tried. I did these live streams. I talked about it. I put it online. I tried to wake people up to the fact. That's absolutely what I'm doing. That's all any of us can do is just get involved in some way, form, or shape and say, when somebody asks, where were you? You can say, I tried. There was people that spoke up for civil rights. There was people who were against slavery in this country. There was people who spoke up against the Nazis. There were throughout history, there's people who spoke up. And you got to be one of those people. Yeah,
now there's people speaking up for, whistleblowers, speaking out against the wars, speaking out against environmental racism, and police brutality and racism in that, and you know, you name it. And the fact that in the richest country in the world, cities don't have clean water. And anyway.
Come to Oregon, I'd buy a ticket.
We are going to book some Northwest states.
For
absolutely.
Sure. Balthazar 228, shave the knuckles for justice. It was a joke that with Nancy Pelosi's policies, we'll be underwater and she'll still be caving to racist politicians. This time's against the merfolk. Yeah, I think we picked it up. I think we picked that was the. I appreciate that joke and supporting the show. Oh yeah. So I've said this before. When I hear neoliberals go, you can't be so critical of the Democrats. You got to just say whoever they put in front of us 18 months from now. No, that is an absolute mistake. You're telling the Democratic Party, oh, you can cheat me.
Yeah.
And let's make something real clear. Joe Biden's middle ground climate policy or Elizabeth Warren's green military, those centrist climate change is just as dangerous as climate change denial. So if we have a centrist Democrat in the White House doing this, like, oh, we're going to raise the gas mileage standards. That ship is fucking sailed, man.
Yeah.
We should have done that in the 80s. You know, like it's over. Like that we're done with oil. And
well, plus it puts everyone to sleep because it's like they're still marginalizing the issue. Like maybe they're giving it better lip service, but they're still marginalizing the issue. But then a bunch of people are going to be like, oh, see, we're doing it.
See,
we're going to be fine.
Oh, a tax break for hybrids. No more oil. No more using of it, getting off of oil and making green jobs. That's you're absolutely correct on that. Where else? I'd love to see Julian Sanders, Bernie Sanders as a doll. All right. All right. All right. No true progressive would troll. That's absolutely correct. Best experimental healthcare are in American prisons. Oh, wow. Yeah. Fascism is slowly taking over. We got to stop it. That's absolutely true. Alex Jones never blocked anyone. Good for him. If I get annoyed, I block people. I get annoyed. I've listened to too many dumb fucking hecklers, and if I get annoyed, I'll block you. It's that simple. And I might just be in a bad mood. So too fucking bad. If you can't be you want to debate? I'm all for debate. We don't have to agree, but if you're just gonna say shitty fucking dumb things, then fuck you. So how's that? Take that to Alex Jones's house. Bernie Sanders is a social democracy. I have not seen his speech, but I heard it's pretty impressive. The speech he most recently gave, I haven't seen that. So I'm very curious to see that because I hear it's like his most like aggressively democratic socialist speech where he basically just says it and this is how it's going to help us. So I've heard several people say he gave it a couple of days ago. We've missed it because we've been on the road, but I'm excited to see it. I know it's about 40 minutes long. Most of his speeches are right in the 45 minute range. OTR Trucker, thanks for supporting the show. Mark Twain spoke against taking the Philippines. Yeah, man. I mean, the more you go back in history and you start, like we talk a lot about Smedley Butler's book, War is a Racket. That was before World War II. He was talking about that. I mean, in Death of the Liberal Class, Chris Hedges talks about how America did not want to enter into World War I. And President hired George Creel to create the Creel Commission to basically go on a marketing campaign to convince Americans we needed to go to war over there. So we've been going into these wars since before the 1900s. I mean, it's crazy. So it's a good point you bring up, OTR Trucker. Schultzy 100, thanks for supporting the show. Reduce, recycle, reuse, make the world great again. Yeah, the 3 R's. I think it's to the, we try. It's hard when everything has plastic in it, just about. I mean, anything. This phone.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, headphones, my ID. I mean, any of it is like these cables. I mean,
yeah, it's
so hard to the room key. I mean, just like all of it. So, but yeah, anywhere we can reduce, reuse, recycle is that's one way can help. But also, as I talk about this before, it's voting with your dollar. So it's the products that you buy, but also, as I've said, getting your local municipalities, getting your school board to reduce, reuse, recycle, getting your local town, your local city government to reduce, reuse, recycle, getting your homeowners association. We met a guy in Austin, Texas, who got his neighborhood association and a bunch of neighborhoods in Austin. He got like 12,000 signatures and took it to the Austin, Texas City Council and said, we need to make this whole city green.
Yeah.
That's one guy did that, just a guy living in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
And
that was a really cool story.
Yeah, it was great. So it's like there's all of you can do that on and you make these little changes here and there. What you talk about Gail McLaughlin a lot. Explain to everybody what she did again.
So what Gail McLaughlin did, she is in Richmond, Virginia. Wow. Richmond, California. Richmond, Virginia, lovely city, but that's not where Gail McLaughlin is. She's in Richmond, California. And what happened was she made basically a progressive alliance. And there were people that were activists. There were people that were running for city council. There were people running for school boards. I believe she was the mayor, or she had some involvement on the electoral level herself. And Chevron wanted to come to town, and they said, "No thanks, we don't want you here."
Wasn't it like Chevron kind of already had some control, and
they had some control, and they booted them.
And Richmond, California is not a big town. But it's where there's oil derricks in California. Mm-hmm. So they have a lot of money and a lot of power, and a little town, and one progressive got all these progressives together and said, boom, you're out.
Every neighborhood needs to do that. I mean, really, like it's like that's where change happens. Because I mean, we got to go outside of electoral politics for a lot of this, and we got to stay in it too. Don't get me wrong; it has its place. We have to do both. And if you kind of organize in your neighborhood and other people organize in theirs, and then all of a sudden we're all organizing in our neighborhoods, then we can start to turn the tide a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I know that's not easy and it's not quick, but it's 1,000% necessary.
Yep. Because, and if people go, what about jobs? Well, how many jobs can you and your children have if your water's contaminated?
Yeah.
So think about that. And you could have a job cleaning up your environment versus contaminating it. 192 people watching, 95 likes. Hit the like button, you guys. It's a free way to support the show. You need to go somewhere.
Well, I'm gonna send our ticket link over, our ticket list over.
Okay. Well, Ron does that to the venue.
And we should wrap up kind of soon.
Yeah, we got another 10 minutes or so. Our show is in a little over an hour. But
there will still be some available at the door. Online sales have ended, but
online sales have ended for New Haven, Connecticut. But if you are in the New Haven area, our show starts in about an hour. It's 8:00. So you can walk up to the door and buy tickets there. Jason Waymo. Thank you, Jason. Did you see the number of protesters in Hong Kong? We need that kind of energy here in the U.S. We need change. Yeah. So Hong Kong has been pretty effective at saying no to the Chinese government. China took over in 1997, and they've been slowly. I was in Hong Kong in 2014, and they were doing Occupy Hong Kong. And it was because the Chinese government was basically saying, we're going to put Chinese party members on your Hong Kong government. Because for those of you who don't know, Hong Kong was its own country, its own like city state. It was controlled by the British, and then in 1997, it was no longer under British rule. But if you've ever if ever in Hong Kong, people who live there call themselves Hong Kongers, or I'm not making this up, honkies. they do not refer to themselves as Chinese. If you call someone from Hong Kong, oh, you're Chinese, they'll go, I am not Chinese. I'm from Hong Kong. And so they speak Cantonese there, and Mandarin is the official language of the People's Republic of China. So they've been trying to force Mandarin on people, and so it's a pretty big issue. And God, I love Hong Kong's a fantastic city. It's the birthplace of Bruce Lee. I love it. I love it. There's all this Bruce Lee stuff there. So thank you for bringing that up. But you bring up a good thing, Jason. Let's talk about all of the ways of mass resistance and mass showing up. So Extinction Rebellion has been doing a lot of pretty effective things in Chicago. You've got the Sunrise Movement, but we talk a lot about this. We were talking about it on the Savage Joy show last night, which is first of all the teacher strikes. Many of them, first of all, they were all successful. All of the teacher strikes were successful, and many of them were successful in red states like Kentucky and Arizona and I think West Virginia. So mass strikes, they shut down the schools. When a whole community can't send their kids to school, they're going to start saying, hey, maybe we should take care of these teachers. When the people started finding out, like I had friends of mine who lived in Phoenix, and they were like, what? There's all these kids who weren't getting their one meal of the day was the free lunch for low-income families at their school. And they're like, what world are we living in where kids, there's not enough money for them to have food, and the school has to provide for it. Then we need to be providing. We're not taking care of our children. We're not taking care of our communities. There was that kid that raised money to pay off kids' school lunch bills. Children shouldn't be charged. Like, that's unbelievable. And so mass movements are very effective. You got to shut stuff down. I've mentioned it before, but it bears repeating because I know we have a lot of new viewers here, is the Tokyo bus driver strike. So the bus drivers union in Tokyo was in a labor grievance, and instead of shutting down the buses, which if you stop running the buses, that shuts stuff down, but the people that get affected are like the elderly and people who need, so you're really hurting the people. You're not really hurting the owners, the ruling class. So what the Tokyo bus drivers did is one day everybody rode for free. So everyone got places on time. Everyone got the medical appointments, jobs, school, work, all this stuff. But the owners of the bus company that didn't want to pay the bus drivers fair wages, they got stuck. That's the only way. You can't shame the ruling class. You can't shame the oligarchs and the billionaires. You need to stick it to their wallet. That's the only thing that gets them to wake up. So that's what it's going to take. So that is a great point, Jason, and thank you for supporting the show. Kate Slattery, boom. Graham, Ron, listen to any This Is Hell yet? I don't know what that is. Is that a podcast?
I have not. No. Kate's told me about it before. I need to listen to it, and I have not yet, but I will. I promise.
What is it?
It's a series of some sort. Okay. I believe it's a podcast.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right, Kate. Thank you for supporting the show and suggesting that for us. Let me make sure I haven't missed anything. Oh, Jedi Mullet 77. Shave your knuckles for justice. Renewable fuel-based economy creates 26 million jobs. I don't know where you got that statistic, but I believe it to be accurate. And that's the thing we need to, when people say, oh, climate, how are we going to pay for it? Say, think of all, how are we going to pay for a Green New Deal? We can pay for it. First of all, when you study MMT, you really know how we can pay for it. But then you see all the jobs that are created. We could have this thriving green economy in this country and around the world. There's solar panels now. I've talked about this before that literally fold out on a fabric. They're not even the big bricks anymore. They're these like foldable fabrics. You could put them on anything.
Plus, we get the added value of, being able to stay on this fucking planet. There's that.
There is that. We get that little extra perk, that little dessert topping of not being extinct.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a bonus. So that's a good thing to bring up. What else? Make sure we didn't miss anything else. Greta Thunberg, that's who you're looking for. Schultz 100, that's the name you're looking for. Greta's doing a great job. Graham, an article about plastics made from cacti. See, I've never heard of that until right now. Thank you so much. This is the kind of thing I love is, oh man, this is what we need to, let me see. I don't know how to bookmark this in.
Bookmark.
Boom.
Just gotta then bookmark that.
Boom. I don't ever really use Google Chrome, but now I know. Thank you for sharing it. See, that's what I'm saying. When we talk about a Green New Deal, part of it is there's things we can implement right now. Like if a progressive president came in and said, taking the subsidies away from oil, putting it into green energy. So now solar panels on your home cost next to nothing. That happened. Everybody gets that. Federal buildings all get them, right? Boom. So within 2 years, we could have solar panels on every roof in the country, just like that. Then there's putting money behind research to where like you just talked about, plastics made from cacti. So all of a sudden now, all of these things like glasses and this, and what if like hard plastics like this or like a phone, maybe it was this cacti we're talking about.
Right.
Then all of a sudden now, we're not losing the benefit of plastics. They now become biodegradable and compostable. So this doesn't float around, these wrappers don't float around in the ocean, they dissolve. Just like a leaf would.
And our lives would change. And I know that's kind of hard to imagine for a lot of, myself included. It is kind of hard to imagine, but I'm sure there was a point in time where no one could imagine what it would be like not riding a horse to get to places. But guess what? Cars happened. There's another great story. So, and I've said this before, but at the turn in the early 1900s, when everyone had a horse and buggy, and in Washington, D.C., there was a massive manure problem, and it was everywhere. And there was a health issue. It was a political issue. Politicians were fighting over this, and everyone's like, what are we going to do with all of this manure? Because Washington, D.C. was growing at the end of the 1800s, and horses were everywhere, the politicians, the money. So there was horse manure everywhere, and it was stopping traffic. I mean, it was just awful, and nobody knew what to do. And then they heard about this guy in Detroit. How much shit can one city take?
Yeah.
We have horses and politicians.
The shit was stacking up, literally and figuratively. Shit. So then somebody said, there was this guy, Henry Ford, who was making a car, this horseless carriage.
I've heard of him.
Right? So, and again, I brought this up before. I know Henry Ford was not a good dude. He's
right. Right. That's not.
And I'm not saying.
That's not the point of the example.
And I know the internal combustion engine is part of the problem now.
Right.
But my point is.
The point is a status quo can shift. Your life can shift. That's
because of an invention.
Right.
An invention no one had thought of. And all of a sudden, what if there's cactus-based cactus plastic factories that are clean burning, and all of a sudden there's all these jobs. You see my point? Like there's a solution out there maybe no one has even thought of yet. Or maybe there's some little researcher in a lab and there's a handful of scientists, but they don't have real money behind it to like get it out there and mass produce it.
In Cactus Plastic Factory, the first single on Amish Photobomb on the new United Stank album. So our hit single,
Cactus Plastic Factory. They fucking rock, man. Do it.
It's got a sick beat.
It does have a sick beat. Well, guys, we got to get going. Let me make sure we got all of the. I know shit stacking up does sound like Washington D.C. I want to make sure.
Right, some things haven't changed. Great meeting you guys in the Progressive Attic. Celeste, it was awesome meeting you too.
Celeste,
so cool meeting you.
Thank you so much for supporting the show. We really appreciate it.
We had so much fun.
Pop reality, boom. Will Warren give delegates to Bernie?
I don't
doubt it.
I'd be surprised. I suppose it's not impossible, but
yeah,
I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
This is hell since '96. Chomsky, etc. on the show. Thank you, Kate. Please email me a reminder about it. I know we've been talking about it. I got to listen to it, and I really do want to. please email me another reminder if you don't mind. Don't be shy.
Jameson Doan, Google plastic made from cacti, recent discovery. Awesome. I will Google that. Right on. I have the article. We've already answered that one. I think we got all those.
I think we got it.
Let's go to Balthazar 228 here. Shave your knuckles for justice. Arby's employs more people, 80,000, than the coal industry, 76,500. Renewables employ over 800,000. China has 4+ million renewable jobs.
There you go.
That just shows you right there.
And that's why we can have a federal jobs guarantee, because we have the needs.
Yeah.
We have the needs for renewable energy. We have the needs for infrastructure. All the needs are there.
And we can do it. It's part of the Green New Deal. Go to my MMT playlist. See the most recent one with Jeff Epstein, who has this great new video he's put together. See my interview with Fidel Kaboub, who talks about how MMT and a Green New Deal and can do it, a federal jobs guarantee. It's such a great point that you're making, Balthazar 228. I really, really enjoy what you're saying. Let me make sure what that means. All right. I don't know on this one how to get the list of people. Anyway. So I'm going to bring up the list of all to thank all of the while I'm doing that, Ron, why don't you tell everybody about our upcoming shows here?
I will. So Vegas, baby, we're coming back July 27th. We will be back in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're coming to a different venue this time, but we're coming back to Vegas. Tickets available at ronplacone.com or grahamelwood.com. We just
What's the date on that one?
July 27th.
Okay.
July 27th. We just confirmed Madison and Minneapolis. The ticket links just got submitted and confirmed. So you can actually get tickets now if you go straight to Brown Paper Tickets. They'll be listed on our website, very, very soon, probably tonight, if not tonight, tomorrow. So Madison, September 6th, Minneapolis, Minnesota, September 7th. And where else should we go in the area? Kansas City?
Maybe
should we go
Omaha?
Sioux Falls? Are you in that area? Now, we're not going to go to Milwaukee or Chicago at that point in time, because we're going to go to Milwaukee for the convention in July of 2020. And at that point, we'll also do Chicago as well. So we're going kind of northwest or southwest from that area, not necessarily south northeast from that area. So keep that in mind. But where else do you want to see us? So Claire, where do you want to see us? We're still booking some shows for that regional tour. But September, Madison, September 6th confirmed. Minneapolis, Minnesota, September 7th confirmed. And yeah.
I will be launching the Indiegogo for me to go to Russia at the end of September to shoot the mini documentary. I just need like around $4 or $5 grand. So I've done crowdfunding for like hundreds of thousands of dollars in the past. So I hope you guys can support that. And of course, we are putting together a tour for mid to late November for Australia. So check that out. I want to thank all of the super chatters for shaving your knuckles. Dr. Scott, thank you. Shannon, Sun Moon, Virgo, Balthazar 228, Ruth Benedict, great meeting you last night. Balthazar 228 again. Sam Dean, hope to meet you down under. Independent Outsider, right on. OTR Trucker, always great to see you here.
Coup de Phil.
Thank you. Cyber Clue, right on. Annabelle Corley, thank you so much. Greg Shepard, right
Balthazar,
on.
Jedi, Sam, Pat the Batman fan, Krillin, thank you. Cyber Clue, thank you again. Jedi Mullet, Balthazar again. Kate, thank you so much. Annabelle, thank you. Balthazar, ODR Trucker, Schultzy, thank you. Pop Reality, thank you. Jason, thank you. Jedi, thank you. Kate, thanks again. Jameson, thank you. Pop Reality, thank you. Kate, Celeste, thank you. Jedi Mullet, Balthazar,
Hold
Annabelle.
on, Jedi Mullet 77. The Model T ran on alcohol from the start. Thanks for bringing that up, Jedi Mullet.
I ran on alcohol from the ages of 18 to 22. Crazy.
I did until March 5th of 2002. That's when I stopped running on alcohol. Annabelle Corley, enjoy the rest of the East Coast. I love New York City.
We do too. Thank you.
You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much, man. I love doing these. It's awesome. 167 watch, 140 likes. Like, subscribe, go to patreon.com. I just re-upped my deal with Rockfin, so I'm going to be putting more content on rockfin.com. You can watch my show ad-free on Rockfin. And, of course, like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the bell notification button, even if you've done it numerous times, because YouTube is demonetizing and unsubscribing people. So RonPlacone.com, GrahamElwood.com. Follow us on the social media, and we hope to meet all of you after a show on the road. Shave your knuckles for justice. You're all making Gotham great again. Boom.